Next up, we have European. They won 8 games on the mound, including the Division III State Championship game for Campbell High School. And fans, at this time, I ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor our great nation with the singing of tonight's national anthem by the Nashua Symphony. Yeah.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad shrouds, bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, though oppressing in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, save us that star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land, for the land, for the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Great job, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Nashua
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to historic Holman Stadium in Nashua, New Hampshire, home tonight of the Nashua Silver Knights of the Collegiate Baseball League in the waning days of their summer season. Hello, everybody. I'm John Collins, along with Tom King. Pleased to be bringing you this Nashua ETV broadcast from historic Holman Stadium. We have a perfect vantage point, Tom, right behind home plate with our brand new crystal clear flat screen monitor. Tim O'Neill on camera. It is an overcast night, a light mist under gray skies, but it looks like we're going to get the game in.
Well, it certainly does look like we're going to get some baseball played, although you never know. I think they'll do everything they can to play. That's been their mantra ever since they've come here this year. They try to get these games in. Sometimes they've been suspended, but they usually start playing baseball at some point. With today's technology, they can look, and they want to get this game in. They don't want to play doubleheaders because the season is winding down, and there's 3 makeup games already to be played by Martha's Vineyard and Torrington and Seacoast next week. Nashua does not have any. They end their season on Sunday on the road. But it's a red-hot race, John, because there's 3 teams vying for 2 spots, and only a game and a half separate the 3 teams. Nashua on top at 24-15. Torrington, Connecticut is next at 23-15, a half a game back. And Martha's Vineyard at 22-16, a game and a half back.
That is Tom King. I'm John Collins, and we are about to see some baseball here at Holman Stadium. You can see the Nashua Silver Knights are in their home white uniforms, and you have the actually, it's purple, take our word for it, the jerseys of Martha's Vineyard Sharks. I believe it's our second look at the Sharks on Nashua ETV since we've been bringing you a couple of these Silver Knights games during the course of the season.
With only 4 teams, it's pretty easy to get a repeat. So, but Jeff Fisher is in it. Jeff Fisher is an interesting pitcher. I mean, this is a guy from Londonderry who can really, if he's got his control going, can really do a good job. And he's kept his ERA down for most of the season.
Here's Robbie Zinsmeister, the second baseman for the Sharks, who I conjure up an image of him being named by the copy guy on Saturday Night Live. The Zinsmeister.
The Zinsmeister. Well, the Zinsmeister's a pretty good ball player. He can really do it. He's a good leadoff hitter. He's a Nashua killer. He really gives this team a hard time.
But when you throw like that, Jeff Fisher paints the outside corner. Strike 3 looking.
5-0, 1.73 with his earned run average. So that's a summer to remember for Jeff Fisher right now, and he's really doing the job.
Wow, he really picked the outside corner with that pitch, and not much Zinsmeister could do but take a look and take a seat. Swinging bunt first base side, going to take it alone and beat the runner. Eric Jensen, the shortstop, cued that one off the end of the bat, and a nice alert play there by Fisher.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many pitchers are going to field their position like that? And G1 unassisted, you don't see that too often because pitchers aren't that athletic, aren't as athletic in terms of being able to field and do a few of the other things that other ball players do.
Who's that rotund pitcher for the Yankees there? When he leaves the mound, it's a disaster every time. Bartolo Colon. Yeah. And the grass is wet here, so that's another
when he leaves the mound, Colon can't field worth his life. He lost a month of his season because he tried to field a play.
Backing up at third base and making a nice play is James Katsarubis across the diamond to first baseman Mark Sanborn. And it's about a 3 or 4 pitch first inning. No, it was like 3 pitches for the strikeout. But a quick first inning for Jeff Fisher. 3 up, 3 down for the Sharks. We go to the bottom of the first inning, no score.
Now, it's interesting, John, if you take a look at Martha's Vineyard, this is a 7 o'clock game. I've taken the trip to the Vineyard since we've last talked.
Did?
Yep. And it's interesting. They start their games down there at 5 because for a couple of reasons. One is there's no lights at the field. And two, teams want to be able to get off the island and catch that last ferry. The last ferry is 9:30, but they usually try to shoot for the 8:30 ferry so they can get home at a reasonable hour, get home before midnight up here, rather than, take a long time and get home at 1 or 2 in the morning. But Martha's Vineyard is in a situation where we're playing the game at 7. So what they will do, and what all the teams do, is a coach bus will take, for example, the Silver Knights down to Woods Hole. Then you grab they don't drive the bus onto the ferry. Everybody gets off, the equipment, everything goes on the ferry, and a school bus is waiting on the other side in Vineyard Haven to take the players to the field.
Did you ride along?
Took the whole trip. Yep. But what Martha's Vineyard does is they charter a boat that will take them, meet them at Woods Hole, and pick them up and take them across tonight to, if they play at home, I don't know where they are tomorrow, but to play at Martha's, at home. If they're home tomorrow, I don't know if they are or not. I don't have the schedule, but that's what they do. So
it's an interesting fairy tale, and it's all true.
Very good, very good. But I think they take the commercial ferry over.
Yeah.
And then they charter back.
Any seasickness for you, Tom?
No, because that ferry runs at a pretty good pace. I was on a boat last night in Maine, and it was up and down, but I held my own.
You did?
But I am prone.
Yeah.
I am prone to getting a little queasy when the waves get choppy. But with those ferry boats, they move fast enough that you don't really notice it too. They're big enough that you don't notice it. It's when you're on a smaller boat that you really can hit it. But it's great. The game I was at, Leroy Kelly, the former NFL Hall of Famer, the former Cleveland Browns running back, NFL Hall of Famer, threw out the first pitch.
Nice. Does he live there?
No, he's a friend of a guy who's lived on the island for 50 years and is a longtime school board member and coach and principal and everything else down there, and who's one of the front office people with the Sharks.
Rob Benedict does leadoff duty for the Nashua Silver Knights here in the bottom of the first inning. Hits the first pitch past the mound. It's going to be gloved there, and a rather easy play by the shortstop for the Sharks. That's Eric Jensen makes the routine play. 1 up, 1 pitch, 1 down for the Sharks here in the bottom of the first inning. No score. The pitcher for the Sharks,
Cody Casper.
2 Ks, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Cody Casper.
Cody Casper, 6 foot, 170-pound right-hander out of Niagara University. This season so far, he's 3-3 but his ERA is excellent, 2.35 earned run average.
Misses up and in with the fastball. He's got an interesting windup. He kind of drags his foot on the rubber towards the first base side. And there is ball 2. Must have missed outside with the fastball. Did Cody Casper. Benedict grounded out to begin the game. And this pitch, a 2-0 fastball ripped to left field for a base hit by Logan Gillis, the second baseman and second batter in the order, the first base runner of the game.
I haven't looked at the numbers yet, but I'd have to go back. But there are very few games where Logan Gillis is not on base in some way, shape, or form. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a leadoff hitter. I mean, Benedict is a very good leadoff hitter, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if for Bentley that Gillis leads off, because he is an on-base machine.
He's probably got a high OBP is what you're saying.
And I'm wondering about the on-base streak, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. He's the league's leading hitter at 371 coming in.
So here's Matt Jacobs, the center fielder and the 3-hole hitter for the Silver Knights on a fireworks night here at Holmen. They're still on. They're still scheduled despite the inclement overcast skies at the moment. Not raining. Mark Sanborn on deck for the Silver Knights.
Yeah, they don't have Logan Gillis's on-base percentage here.
That fastball misses down, and it's a 3-0 count. So control trouble here early, getting Casper in a bit of a jam. He has given up a 2-0 fastball single, and now he goes 4-pitch walk.
Well, Jacobs is a pretty good RBI man, with guy with men on base. So they're, but now they're getting to a situation where they're asking for trouble, because two of the best RBI guys in this league are Sanborn and James Katsarobis, who's on deck. This is a tough 3, 4, 5. It's actually a tough 1 through 5.
Bottom of the first inning. Ball's in the dirt. Actually hit the umpire's leg on the way to the backstop, and easily advancing to second and third are Gillis and Jacobs. 2 men in scoring position, 1 out for Sanborn. Looked like a breaking ball. It just got past the Sharks catcher, Anthony Corona.
Yeah, he might have been crossed up, John.
Got a piece of the shin guard of our home plate umpire.
This is Sanborn's ideal situation here. Second and third, 1 out.
A little surprised he didn't offer at that pitch, but it was toward the outer edge of the plate, the 1-0 fastball.
He's second in the league in RBIs. You know who's third is Zinsmeister, the leadoff hitter for Martha's Vineyard.
Not bad.
Which is very, very unusual to have a leadoff hitter be the third man in
the league.
In the league in RBIs.
Casper's pitch backs up Sanborn, and it's 3-1.
Actually, Sanborn's third. Zinsmeister's fourth, so Sanborn is third. He's got 29. He's been stuck on 29 for a little bit. Jeremy Matos, who also plays for the Sharks, their cleanup hitter, he's second with 32 runs batted in.
The 3-1 is off the end of the bat.
Oh, Sanborn just got that was a nice pitch by Casper. A little slider that tailed away from the plate, and that's why Sanborn, who was really kind of jumping on it, and took his eye off the ball and hit it off the end of his bat because the ball was tailing away.
The 3-2, does he give him a pitch to hit? First base is open.
First base open with Katsarubis on deck and 1 out, and double play possibility. I'm surprised they didn't walk him in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
Hit hard toward the hole. It's gloved there to first base in time. The strong arm of the shortstop, Eric Jensen, gets the out there. A little bit of indecision by Jensen. He was thinking about going after the trail runner at third base, but pretty good speed by Matt Jacobs to get over there. So it's an RBI ground out for Sanborn, our first run of the game. The Silver Knights lead 1-0. 2 outs, runner on third. Katsarubis, the batter. Ground ball right at Jensen. His third chance of the inning, and he's true again.
And John, I hate to say it woulda, coulda, but that's why I might have put Sanborn on first base. Katsarupas just hit into what would have been a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. Instead, there's a run on the board because they did pitch to Sanborn.
That's right.
And the monkey of mischiefs, the world famous Monkey Boy.
So Logan Gillis tallies the first run of the game. It is a night where, as you can see, Nashua's favorite primate is back. Monkey Boy. And he hasn't lost a step.
No, I talked to Chris Ames a week ago. I said, when's the last time you put it on? And he said, I do it around the neighborhood. He lives in Fort Myers, Florida now.
Who's Chris Ames? Monkey Boy's trainer?
Yep. See, a lot of people don't know the act. You know, a lot of people don't.
No, they don't.
You know? Yeah, the people over here, well, they're up standing up because they're screaming for T-shirts on that right side or something, whatever Ames is giving away to people. He's at his best when he's antagonizing the other team, so let's see how they get used to that later on.
Yeah, and the umpire,
Monkey Boy.
which is where he appears to be
here
headed.
he goes, he's going to the umpire.
Oh! He'll be back, the world famous Monkey Boy.
For Martha's Vineyard, the designated hitter, number 34, Jeremy Matos.
So Jeremy Matos gets leadoff duty for the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. The cleanup hitter watched his first three batters in order, the teammates that bat at the top of the order go down in order in the top of the first, and he swings and misses at the off-speed offering from Jeff Fisher.
And they've tried to coordinate their pitching staff so that Fisher and Eric Peralt, who's their other big gun, are facing Torrington or Martha's Vineyard almost every time they go out on the mound.
Fastball fisted towards center is going to get down for a base hit.
Matos is a very good player.
You can see the strength there of Matos. He really didn't get much of that one, but it was plenty to get well into the outfield for a base hit.
The game I saw, they made a little bit of a mistake. They must have needed to save their pitching, and they put Matos on the mound in relief, and he coughed up a 6-4 lead, and Nashua rallied that night on the Vineyard 8-6.
Matos is the DH. He's on first base with a single. And here's Anthony Boyks, who plays first base for the Sharks, also a right-handed batter. And on the outside corner at the knees from Jeff Fisher as the return throw from the catcher go off his glove but directly to the middle infield.
And they've got to watch out because Matos is on base, so they can't just nonchalant that.
Power and speed, you're saying, for Matos.
And he can run. Take a look at his numbers and see if he's got any stolen bases.
Anthony Boyks spells it B-O-I-X.
Yep. Boyks is how they say it.
Sounds like a sound effect.
Now, the atmosphere down in the Vineyard, John, there's no stadium. It's basically a high school field. They've added some bleachers, but you can sit up on a hill above the outfield and watch the game, and a little bit down the right side.
Wow. That one, did that come in here?
It might have. Might have come in where I normally would have been.
It was, yeah, exactly at our level, but about 4 windows
Visiting
to our right.
The old visiting radios booth is my booth during the season.
Yeah. I think it did enter the building here.
Well, the window's closed over there, so I doubt it would have.
Oh, okay, off the window.
I'm pretty sure it's closed.
It's a 1-2 count to Boyks. Towards center, charging hard and making the catch. Great positioning and first step by the
Jacobs.
Silver Knights. Jacobs, the center fielder.
Yeah, Jacobs is a very good defensive center fielder. I haven't seen him make many mistakes this year. Always throws to the right base. Very heads-up ball player.
Some guys might have played deep enough that ball could have got down, but it's a routine out in the glove of Jacobs and 1 out in the inning with a man at first base still.
Well, you're going to take my word for it on how well Matos runs because he doesn't have any stolen bases on the year. But I've seen him on the base pass. He can get around him. He's not a speedster, but he's not your typical DH on the bases. And Corona, the Sharks catcher, is also a very good running catcher.
Max Goodman looks at a couple of fastballs above the zone, and he's ahead in the count 2-0. Goodman, the left fielder for the Sharks, batting for his first time in the game, hits 6th in the order for Martha's Vineyard. 1-0. The Silver Knights plated a run in the bottom of the first inning. Logan Gillis coming around to score, and an RBI ground out by Mark Sanborn. That's our only run of the game. Both teams have a hit. As Goodman takes a strike, it's a 2-1 pitch on the way from Jeff Fisher. Changeup gets away from, slipped out of his hand almost. 3 balls and 1 strike. Fisher pitches for UMass Lowell, as Tom said, from Londonderry. 2 umpires they go with here in the Collegiate Baseball League.
I wonder if they'll add another for the playoffs. The playoffs will begin next week, and it'll depend on who makes it. If one of these two teams, if Nashua doesn't make it or if Nashua makes it. If Nashua makes it as the top seed, they want to play the first 2 games at home, because Mike Chambers' theory is, at least the last time I talked to him about it, that ball's popped up.
It makes its way to left field, where Sean Lyons puts it away for out number 2. 2 fly ball outs after the leadoff single by Matos. And now Fisher just 1 out of getting out of this, despite letting the leadoff batter aboard.
And it looked like it was going to be another base hit too until Jacobs motored in. But Chambers would like to play the first 2 games. It's at best 2 out of 3. He'd like to play the first 2 games at home and basically gamble that he's going to, win those 2 with Peralta and Fisher on the mound. Monkey Boy is making his way through the stands.
There he is, right in front of us.
Yep.
James Schotzmer plays third base for the Sharks. Looks at one inside, and it's a ball and a strike. Matos, as Tom said, no stolen bases, and he's not really that ambitious with the lead either at first base. He's very close for him. He could probably fall down and touch the bag. Hit hard to center, but it's going to go right to Jacobs, who hardly had to move.
Nope.
3 fly ball outs after the leadoff single, and our score after the top of the 2nd inning is Nashua 1 and Martha's Vineyard 0.
That's Jacobs, Fisher's, MO. Let the batters hit it. Let my fielders catch it. That's what he does. Peralta's more the strikeout guy.
Lots of entertainment here at Silver Knights games. It is a fireworks night, their last of the season, as we videotape this on a Friday night. John Collins with Tom King, our cameraman, bringing you these images right here. Tim O'Neill on Nashua's ETV. The Lowell Spinners are the parent organization of the Nashua Silver Knights, who are in their inaugural season here at historic Holman Stadium. The history of the stadium going back to Charles Frank Holman, who contributed more than $50,000 to build it. Doesn't sound like a lot. Well, that was in 1937, and $50,000 went a lot farther then, of course. Charles Frank Holman donating that money to honor his parents. His father came to Nashua as a poor salesman, but managed to launch a successful business and was later voted mayor of Nashua in 1879. After that, President Franklin Roosevelt provided funding for the stadium as part of his Great Depression recovery plan, part of the history of Holman Stadium. It's the premier venue in the Collegiate Baseball League, which is made up of 4 teams, including this Martha's Vineyard club. Cued off the end of the bat. Strike 1, the leadoff batter for the Nashua Silver Knights here. John Putris, the catcher, looks at strike 2 on the outside corner. Putris, who plays his baseball at Northeastern. Down in the count 0-2, leading off here in the second. Cody Casper, spells him with KK. That's great initials for a pitcher. Misses with the fastball, a waste pitch. It's the 1-2 on the way to Putris. It bounces. That one traveled about 54 feet. 2-2 is the count to Putris. Light mist was falling tonight. It got late early, as Yogi might say. And ball 3.
What a
3
difference.
balls and 2 strikes.
Difference compared to yesterday, which was an absolutely gorgeous day.
Yeah. Fisted right at the plate off the body of Putris, who hands it to his counterpart catcher, and it's going to be another payoff pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Read a fascinating article in Sports Illustrated this week, Tom, about the speed of games and the clever method that the sports writer, he went back and watched in its entirety. Hit hard to right field, but it's going to hang up there for Ronnie Rosario, the right fielder for the Sharks. Puts away Putris on the fly right.
I saw Ronnie Rosario play football for Lowell High School. Good player.
So they watched the Brewers. It was like a Brewers White Sox game from 1981.
Old American League game.
A regular season game.
Yep.
And the question was, why do regular season games now last on average 25 to 30 minutes longer than they used to? And he found out that it's all about how long between pitches, and it's usually the problem is batters stepping out.
Yep.
Grounded toward the middle. It's gloved there, though, by Jensen. He's been very busy tonight fielding his position. 2 up, 2 down. What a fine play by the Sharks shortstop.
3rd assist of the night for Jensen. But that's interesting with the batter stepping in, stepping out, and stepping in. Yep. But I also think that pitchers take a longer time than they used to with men on base out of the stretch.
Oh, yes.
Out of the stretch. I think that adds to it more than anything. That's why batters are stepping out.
Rip foul.
So I think it starts on the mound.
Yeah, they're both guilty.
You know, I'll have to read the article because I just got mine today.
Fascinating
but I'll have to read the article.
Timing the
but
amount of time between
I
pitches.
think it starts on the mound. I really do.
The 0-1 misses away, and it's a 1-1 count.
And there's always been proposals out there have a little bit of a clock to give the pitcher like a 5-second clock. You know, he's got to make his pitch, otherwise it's a ball, automatic ball or something like that. That'll never work with baseball because it's just the beauty of baseball is there is no clock. So, but at
that
the same
came up
time,
in the article.
I bet at the same
and
time,
there wasn't such beauty in the eyes of the beholder in the article either of the no clock.
Well,
situation.
I mean, hey, take it from a writer who's worked on Deadline covering games. You know, it's some of these players take forever. I mean, Yankee-Red Sox game, they take forever because the Yankees like to work.
Jeter.
Yeah, Jeter exactly likes to work the count.
How long did those 3,000 hits take anyway?
I bet they took a lot longer.
90,000 seconds.
I bet they took a lot longer in 2011 than they did in 1996.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, hey.
But here's the other thing. You know, he talked regular season games.
Right.
Utah playoff games.
I think you should count them all.
I think playoff games are abysmal. That's a 4-hour game.
Oh, you're
guaranteed.
talking about length. So, yeah. You know, the great anecdote in that article, he talked about Paul Molitor, just the way he approaches. He didn't leave the box. His feet stayed in the same 7 seconds between pitches, 8 seconds, 6 seconds, 8 seconds between pitches, like 4 pitches.
Yeah.
Took about, 40 seconds. And he never left the box. And in the pitcher, the same thing. Get it and throw it, get it and throw it.
Right.
And then you compare that to a 2011 game. You got guys taking deep sides. There's supposedly a rule in Major League Baseball that with nobody on base, a pitcher must throw a pitch every 12 seconds. And the writer said, go to a game and look at how many times that's enforced.
It's enforced,
it's
right.
Never enforced.
It's never enforced. No way. But how long was that Brewers-White Sox game that you watched in 1981?
225.
That's incredible. An American League game going 225 is unheard of.
Back in the good old days, 1981.
Heck, we covered, how many Pride games did we cover here?
Yeah.
Did we have any Pride games go 225?
No.
If it did, we were like celebrating, skipping out of here.
It used to be, it would have to be a couple of brilliant pitching performances.
There was one game that was like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Maybe that was the Lima time game.
No, it wasn't Lima. It wasn't Lima. It was, who was that pitcher that...
Get it and throw
short left-hander.
I can picture him too.
Played for, he was...
That is a nice shot into the hole for the Sharks leadoff batter here.
When he was on, he threw darts. He could take forever on the mound sometimes, but this game he was throwing darts and he was all the way.
Now batting the center fielder, number 3, Tad.
That was Ronnie Rosario, the excellent football player that Tom just talked about, batting leadoff in that situation, although he's 8th in the order, coming up here in the top of the 3rd, and he is aboard 2 innings in a row now. The Sharks have had the leadoff batter aboard by a single. Last inning, 3 fly ball outs, and Fisher get out of it. Let's see what happens here in the 3rd inning with the 9th place hitter up, Tad Gold, the center fielder. Gold plays at Endicott College. Very high pop-up behind second. Gillis gets called off by Jacobs, who comes in and casually makes the catch.
All right, who's been busier tonight, the Martha's Vineyard shortstop or Jacobs in center field?
I think it's a tie.
It is.
And that's the same pattern we saw last inning, a single and a fly ball out to Jacobs.
John Good, the vice president and director of communications for both the Silver Knights and the Lowell Spinners, will join us in the middle of the 4th inning, I think, is when he's going to come up.
So back to the top of the order, and Zinsmeister tops one on a short hop to the 3rd baseman. Katsarubis guns it across the diamond for the 2nd out of the inning. To second base on the play goes Rosario. 2 out, man in scoring position for the Sharks.
The games that I've seen for college players that are, basically you've got very few that are going into their senior year. You've got a lot that came off their freshman or sophomore year. Katsarubis was a redshirt where he was, and he was transferred and everything else. So he's been around a lot. The defense is much better than I expected. Because I think whenever you go to a game, you're entertained by great defense and home runs.
And you are
as a fan.
detained by bad defense.
As a fan, you're detained by bad defense.
We saw that sometimes in the Atlantic League, surprisingly enough.
Oh, the defense was horrible.
Ground ball to the left side. Katsarubis falling to the ground, makes a great play. Wow, on cue, a web jam by James Katsarubis.
The defense in this league, but the defense with this team overall is great. They put together a very good team. B.J. Neverett, Mike Chambers, they put together a very, very good team.
I'm going to put a star next to that one for James Katsarubis, retiring Eric Jensen for the 3rd out of the inning. So again, a leadoff single goes to waste for the Sharks. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd with the score, Nashua 1 and Martha's Vineyard nothing. We play 9 innings here in the Collegiate Baseball League. Wooden bats, just like the Cape Cod League.
We have Jack and Casey, and they're going to duet.
They do some of the in-between innings entertainment down at Martha's Vineyard. They have the wireless mic out there. The deal was, it was a 5-year deal with the school board, and what they did was it's not a lease payment. There's no lease payment, but they were required to do something for the field every year. And instead what they did was they did it all at once. They put concession sheds and an equipment shed and underground electricity, worked the underground. So I could, plug in a computer sitting outside behind home plate, behind the backstop. That's where their press box, quote unquote, is. So
you okay talking over that kid or what?
Yeah, oh sure.
I can hear you. I'm just saying that. I'm not sure what the audio is like, but I can hear you.
Kids are made to be seen, not heard, right?
Definitely at the King compound. That is true. We go to the bottom of the third inning.
Just no running by the pool. No running, no diving, no glass. So we have the same rules at the compound as we do everywhere else.
Swing and a miss on the high fastball. Challenge time there from Cody Casper to the left-handed batting Sean Lyons. Looks at a ball just outside. As our radar gun says, that was at 78 miles per hour from Cody Casper. Open stance by Lyons. Misses on the inner edge. Maybe it was down 2-1. Working quickly is Casper. Looping the handle on the bat there is.
I think that goes with the humid night.
Yeah.
It's very, very humid. So if you don't have enough pine tar on the bat, and he's got 2 gloves.
It happens a lot on balls that are not in the strike zone. I think there's a little bit of a part of your body or your brain is fighting you on swinging at a pitch out of the zone, and you kind of maybe one hand's letting go and the other one's swinging, and the bat comes loose. Not chasing that time was Lyons. Let's see what happens on the 3-2. Misses even higher with the fastball and asking for a new ball. Maybe the humidity getting to his grip a little bit there was Casper as he calls for a new baseball after the walk to lead off the inning to Lyons.
Now they've got to take advantage. Martha's Vineyard had the leadoff man on 2 innings in a row, not scored. Nashua doesn't want to fall into that pattern because this Martha's Vineyard team, I mean, they're not going to sit there and get shut out all night. So,
okay.
They've got some guys in their lineup that once they see Fisher the 3rd time around, will make Fisher work.
Here's Benedict, the leadoff batter for the Silver Knights here. We're later in the season for these guys, and you look down, and Benedict's got a ton of at-bats. He's got 175 at-bats, Tom, 43 hits for a .286 average. So when he goes back to Wesley College, he's have a story to tell about getting a lot of work done in the summertime. Stealing that base easily.
It's going to be a play at third.
Is Lyons. Throw to third is not in time as Lyons speeds around the bases.
Well, a lot of base runners, once they see that throw go by, may not make that move because they don't know how far the ball is going to go. But that ball was kind of in no man's land, and Lyons very quickly with a quick slide and up and made the turn around the bag and in. But at the same time, you know, a good throw might have had him. He gambled, but he takes advantage of the error, and he's at third base.
Benedict hammers it to left. It's deep, but not over the head
score a run, no.
of the left fielder. It is a sac fly for the 2nd run of the game as Lyons, by virtue of his hustle getting him to third, scores on the fly ball by Benedict.
So there's the difference, John, that I see is Nashua sending Lyons, whereas Martha's Vineyard has the leadoff man on, and they don't do anything to move him around.
Twice,
exactly, 2 times in a row.
And the scoreboard reflects it. 2-0. So Logan Gillis bats with a clean slate here. 1 out, nobody on. He singled sharply his first time up on a 2-0 fastball. Now he's ahead in the count again, 1-0. The pitch. Grounded up the middle and into center field. You can't give Gillis a 2-0, 1-0 fastball without him doing some damage.
No, he has had a great summer. Now Martha's Vineyard's not afraid to run. Zinsmeister has 24 stolen bases on the year.
Speedmeister.
Yeah, and you go with Garrett Autry, he's got 4. Jensen's got 6. Boyks has 5. Rosario only has 4. That surprises me because Rosario was a speedster when he was in high school. And no one really, the only other player with more than 5 is Tad Gold. He has 7.
Matt Jacobs batting now for the Silver Knights. Walked his first time up.
So the guy you want to keep off base in a close game is obviously going to be Zinsmeister with 24 stolen bases.
Now, if you're the Sharks, do you pitch out here? How many stolen bases does Gillis have?
Yeah, I got to look that one up.
All right. He's got a nice lead. It's an 0-1 count, though. Throw to first base.
He's definitely looking to go. There's no question about it. You have to remember when Gillis is on base, Benedict is usually on there with him, so that might cut down his steals. Let me tell you, they do pitch out.
The 0-1 pitch is the most obvious pitch out in baseball. A lot of base stealers just won't go on 0-1, and that's what happened there.
Gillis has 13. He's tied for the team lead with Benedict with 13 as well, and Jacobs has 10. So the top 3 hitters in their lineup can run.
Borderline strike call. Casper ahead in the count, 1-2 on Benedict. Excuse me, Jacobs, who bats third in the order for the Nashua Silver Knights.
They're going to go away on Jacobs here. Oh, they curved him.
Yeah, he almost stayed back, and that was up in the zone.
Yeah, they won't give in to Jacobs and throw him a fastball.
Unless he paints like he just did on the pitch before.
This seems to be following the patterns of games. Well, they go outside again, thinking maybe Gillis was almost a non-pitch out, pitch out. Right, exactly.
2-2 is the count.
This seems to be the pattern for Cody Casper. I mean, he's pitching well enough, but the teams that he's facing are squeezing out runs while his team isn't hitting for him. He's got an ERA of 2.40, and
Gillis is going to make it.
Make it
Free
to second
pass.
anyway. Yep.
A wild pitch there by Casper. Doing his best to corral it was Corona, but it just slipped about 10-15 feet to his right, and that was plenty for Gillis to get into scoring position with 1 out.
Because both runs that Nashua scored have been scored on outs. So they have not, they're not good. They're not knocking Casper around.
With 1 out, don't take your eye off of Gillis at second. He might just go because big swing and a miss. Now he won't. 2 outs.
No, 2 outs, and that's a big strikeout.
That was the A+ fastball from Casper.
It
you
was.
know, talking about Tom.
That was, I need it out now.
Reaching back.
Yep.
Missing if he's going to miss up and in. And it was a perfectly placed up and in fastball.
That was as if Casper said, okay, I've toyed with him long enough.
Yeah.
Let me get to business here. Here's Sanborn with that 30th RBI sitting there on second base for him.
Big swing on the curve. And
Gillis is almost guaranteed to score from second base with his speed. Mike Chambers.
Especially as you look here, as
shows some of
Tim
that
O'Neill
stuff.
gives us the view of the outfield, Tom. They're pretty deep.
Well, they're deep, trying to prevent the extra base hit because
Yeah.
Sanborn's an RBI guy, but at the same time.
Let's see if we can get a hold of a fastball here.
He had one.
That was the pitch that struck out Jacobs
He
up
had
and in
one,
on
and
the corner.
that wasn't
Tough.
up in. That one looked like it was hittable. I think that wasn't as up and in as the one Jacobs. He's down 0-2, so he's definitely not going to get a fastball here. Almost had him fishing for it.
Not going to get a good fastball.
Yeah,
you mean.
exactly. I mean, it looked like a slider almost, didn't it?
Was down and away.
Little tail at the end.
Casper, who works fairly quickly, steps off the rubber one of the few times here, gets reset for the 1-2. The pitch. Hard hit, but right at the shortstop. Jensen's going to make the play. Again, oh, on the tag. A safe call. Throw to home. Safe at home. That might be a bit of an argument. The first baseman
Sure looked like the tag was made, but was he on the bag? That's the question.
Well, already on the bag with those long legs, maybe you're right.
Sanborn runs well, and with those long legs, he might have been on the bag already. And then Gillis heads up, scoring.
How about the speed of Gillis?
Scoring from second base
in the back door
on a play like that.
Great hustle.
Yeah.
That's why you hustle, just in case there's that surprising safe call at first base, because that little bit of a surprise delays the first baseman.
That's a gift run. So
It is 3-0.
So I'm looking at some radar right now.
Nashua Silver Knights.
Thanks to our executive producer, Pete Johnson.
On a tablet. That's awesome.
Yes, I know it. Yeah, he's got all the toys. Why don't we get any of these toys? Come on. So we're looking at, we're right there. So yeah, we got rain.
Delayed steal, Tom.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to get hit pretty soon.
Mark Sanborn with the delayed steal is in scoring position.
Do we have the documentary all queued up so when the rain delay comes, we can run that? That's what I thought.
So how did you score that Sanborn ground ball? In the E6?
I don't see. Where's the error?
No, I guess you have to say beat it out.
I beat it out infield single and Gillis
an
scores
RBI?
an RBI, yeah.
Perfect. Number 30. All right.
That's how I would score
You can do that.
That's how I would score
Yeah,
it.
you can do that. It was in the hole. Or was it? A line drive to right field is going to sink, but into the glove of the right fielder, Ronnie Rosario.
They're going to give him an error.
Okay.
Evidently. They got an error posted up.
Somebody got an error,
So it was probably going to be the E6 on, and that takes away the RBI from Sanborn.
Right.
Now, if this were the Atlantic League and our old friend Roger Pepper was scoring, there'd be somebody coming up here to talk to him after the game.
Yeah. That was because players use stats to get on to the next level, and they were very, very sensitive about them. And that produced some scary moments for the official scorer during the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball days here at Holman Stadium. When the Pride called this home, they would often get visited by some of the players who wanted to improve their stats or get the best ruling on a stat.
We're watching the monkey see, monkey do presentation by Monkey Boy here.
Now the umpire's already been, dissed once, and he gets it again, and now
I just want to see. He wants. Yeah, you got as a kid slap the umpire in his rear end. Yep, doesn't want to do it.
See, that's how umpire abuse gets passed down from generation to generation.
Exactly.
Or from species to species.
You've got one unwilling participant out there on the field.
Monkey Boy and Boy, ladies and gentlemen. Good job. Anthony Corona is the catcher for the Sharks. He bats in the 3rd spot in the order. And he looks at strike one. 76-mile-an-hour curveball from Jeff Fisher.
I talked to Corona down in the Vineyard. Players, travel wears on him a little bit.
Does it? In the dirt.
But I think they got their second win. They hit that lull right around the 1st or 2nd week in July where they were really, really kind of like, wow, what did we sign up for here?
Slowly hit up the middle.
Look at Corona. Corona can run as a catcher. He's not a bad running catcher.
But paying him the respect he deserved was Benedict, who really didn't waste any time getting rid of it.
Hustled that throw.
Yeah.
But we've got, let's see how long we can hold out here before those storms come in. The radar looked like we were getting hit.
Yeah, it looked very, unfortunately,
ominous.
Very colorful
yes,
radar and ominous.
I'm not into color in July. I don't like either of it.
Like oranges and reds.
Yeah, no, I don't like those colors at all when I look at a map.
Swung on and missed by Matos.
Fisher's got that little tail to his pitch.
Yeah, he's not missing in the middle of the plate very much at all.
Not a high velocity guy. You won't, you'll be able to, if you time him, you'll be able to hit him, but he'll mix it up and he'll just kind of be around the plate.
It was 67, ladies and gentlemen, on the radar gun, and he bounced it.
Don't know how accurate that gun is. It's been about the only question I have as to with this operation is the radar gun, because it's a pretty smooth running one here.
That's Tom King. I'm John Collins. You're watching Nashua ETV's broadcast of the Nashua Silver Knights game versus the Martha's Vineyard Sharks here at historic Holman Stadium. Our cameraman is Tim O'Neill. Our executive producer is Pete Johnson. As the Sharks bat in the top of the 4th inning, trailing the Silver Knights 3-0. Nashua on top. As the Knights pitcher Jeff Fisher throws, and it is a topped ground ball.
Wow.
Katsarubas.
Something wrong with Matos. I talk about how well he runs, and he could not get down to first base. That explains why he wasn't running.
Yeah.
When he was leading off. He's got something wrong with him. Look at him. Look at the gait he's got. A little bit of a gait as he runs back.
Very stilted running style right now.
No, he's got something bothering him, no doubt about it.
You know, and you talk about the travel schedule and just the sheer number of games these guys couldn't be used to, and some of them first-year players here in the league, and you wonder if it's just deep soreness rather than an injury, you know, for some of these guys.
College kids, John.
Yeah, they're young legs.
The college kids,
yeah,
come on. You've been hanging around the over 30 crowd too much.
You're probably right.
Your baseball league.
You're probably right.
You've been hanging around the John Ropers.
I see that a lot.
The John Ropers in this world too much, you know?
Exactly.
I know it.
I see that kind of gait a lot in my league.
I know you do.
You're right, I forgot.
I had that kind of gait the first time I played 9 holes this year. That was a few weeks ago.
2 outs in the inning. Anthony Boyks is the batter. Oh, my hamstring. Foul tipped into the mitt. As he got the 2-0 fastball he was looking for, Boyce just couldn't straighten it out. He flied to center field his first time up. Living on the edges of the plate is Fisher. That one was maybe a little bit smidgen toward the middle. Boyce again fouls it off though, and it's 2-2. Somebody making a nice catch to our right off camera here and gets a round of
people
applause.
Who have the greatest shot at foul balls are the ones above us in the luxury suites. I think I've watched 2 hitters from up there. Good place to watch a game.
3-2. I won't say what I'm about to say because I don't want to jinx anybody. And the 3-2 pitch is grounded past the mound, and so Gillis had it play him, basically. He was backing up on a very sharply struck grounder, and it went off his leg. So that's official score decision again. But bottom line is, with 2 outs, Anthony Boyks is aboard.
I'd score to hit.
All right.
That's what I would score. It was deep in I was on the outfield grass. Questionable whether he would have been able to get the runner, but they're going to give him an error. So it's E6, or E4 rather, E4.
I was going to say that Jeff Fisher hasn't walked anybody yet.
I knew that was coming, but
Goldman flied out to left field his first time up. Max Goldman to hit now with 2 outs and a man at first. Bunts foul towards the on-deck circle of the Sharks. Now, you didn't say, I guess I assume that after you went to see that game at Martha's Vineyard on the island, you just left with the team. You didn't hang around and dine at one.
Oh, going back with the team was the best part. I'll tell you about that in a second.
Pop up in the infield. Katsarubas, the third baseman, calls and makes the play.
So the error does not hurt, and we're in the middle of the 4th. Hopefully John Good will be up soon to talk. I'm just looking to see at Fisher and see how many base on balls he's given up. You know how many hitters he's walked all summer?
How many innings?
He's pitched 52.
52 innings?
Well, actually,
guess.
now let's go. Let's give him 4. He's pitched 56 now.
All right, I will guess based on his performance tonight that in 56 innings he has walked 10 batters.
Very close. 9.
Wow.
Very good guess.
That's great.
9 batters all season long.
That's great. I'd like to play behind a pitcher like that.
Well, that's just it. That's why I think their defense is so sharp.
Nine is great. Single digits. Our Silver Knights mascot having some fun with the kids on the field during the game.
They have walked the second fewest in the league at 130 compared to Torrington, which is 127. But Nashua has also played 23 or 22 and a third more innings than Torrington has.
Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this season, the Seacoast Mavericks team and the FCBL...
Very affordably priced entertainment here. The Nashua Silver Knights at historic Holman Stadium. Recommend you take it in if you haven't already. Matter of fact, the 2012 season tickets are now on sale. And the 2012 season ticket holders get 15% off all merchandise for the team. Something to keep in mind. You can look it up on the website.
They were able to put those tickets on sale once they reached a tentative agreement with the city to extend their lease 2 years. They had 5 one-year options, mutual renewable, which I don't think would have been too bad to keep, but they opted. They wanted something more permanent to show the fans. And so they hammered out a deal with the city, basically the same terms, I'm pretty sure, with the city for 2 permanent years on the lease. It's got to be, there's a base hit leading off.
Boutros hammers it in the hole, and he's on.
It's got to be ratified and go through the political process by the, the Board of Aldermen and the subcommittees and then to the full board, which is expected to take place through the month of August and into September. But they'll be here for, unless something odd happens, they will be here for at least 2 more summers. And my feeling is probably beyond that if their curve is upward and they can sell to get more season tickets and also more group sales, because they have to take the same kind of minor league approach that most minor league teams do.
Kyle Neverman golfs a pop-up over the first base stands.
Neverman was part, along with Fisher and Brian Finnegan, another reserve outfielder for this team, were part of a Londonderry Legion team that 2 years ago, John, played in and won 3 9-inning games in one day to win the Legion title. That is a survival test.
It's a lot of baseball.
It is. Fisher was actually...
What kind of day was it?
I don't know, hot in Keene. It was out in Keene. Fisher was and the game was suspended the night before in Keene. Londonderry had to drive all the way back to Londonderry because they were already checked out of their hotel, and then come back to Keene the next day and start 10 in the morning and play.
That is an ordeal.
That is an ordeal, is right.
Wow.
That is a trip.
The 1-2 pitch.
Basically, you get home at around 2 or 3 in the morning and get right back up again 5 or 6 hours later and get on a bus, or however they made their trip.
Tad Gold takes the fly ball in right center field for the first out of the inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th, 3-0. Nashua leads Martha's Vineyard. Leadoff batter John Boutros singled to begin the inning. Neverman has flied out. Now Kyle 80 is the batter with 1 out and 1 on. He struck out his first time up. Throw to first base. Boutros drawing 2 throws over there, getting some respect as a base runner, as a catcher. In the dirt. Again, nice block by Corona behind the plate as the pitch missed down and in.
Down and in is right, and working very carefully. This Casper, he's fallen behind more hitters than not.
Here's a 2-0 pitch to the 8th batter in the order. You got to expect fastball in the middle of the plate.
He got one, but on the outer half of the plate, and he watched it.
Yeah, so that's good pitching right there.
It is good pitching. You don't give in. You don't spot it right over the middle.
The 2-1 on the way.
That's going to be a hit.
Opposite field, falls in there.
Just a little dink and dunk.
So 80 serves it out and gets aboard. To second base goes Putras. A bit of a rally going here for the Silver Knights as Sean Lyons comes up. He has scored one of the 3 runs.
Well, what I like about Nashua is their aggressive nature. They've been aggressive all year long. And they rarely, you know, if you got the other, they rarely let the other pitcher wiggle off the ropes. If you got them on the ropes, they usually attack. And that's what I expect from Lyons and Benedict, the next 2 hitters. They'll be up there swinging away.
Bunted foul.
I didn't expect bunt.
No.
I don't know why he would bunt, and that's unless he's bunting for a base hit. And I think Chambers is kind of wondering too, as he's scratching his head as he takes the Mike Chambers, not in our camera view, but as he's down in the third base coach's box. There he is, right there, left of your screen.
Sean Lyons trying to get his Northeastern teammate from
hammers it.
Second base. A hanging curveball that he cannot keep fair. Hit it very hard. It's 0-2.
Newman Knight, John, I expect the ball to carry a little bit more than maybe it has.
I think the pitchers have a lot to do with that.
Yep.
Not
a
giving
lot
balls,
off speed.
a lot off speed. Nothing that batters can get their arms extended on in the middle of the zone.
Eventually, though, fatigue sets in, and somebody is going to make a mistake. I think a ball's going to leave this ballpark.
Not that one. 1-2. It's again careful with the count in his favor.
Well, Casper has been careful with his 0-2 pitches, but he hasn't wild pitched them. He doesn't want to advance these runners to second and third with only 1 out.
Topped foul. Stays 1-2.
Still, nothing Lyons can sink his, no pun intended, but nothing that Lyons can sink his teeth into.
Shark reference? No, not
Lion.
intentional.
Lion reference.
Lions reference.
But you're right, it is a shark reference too. And yes, they do play the Jaws music down in Martha's Vineyard.
You still owe me that story about the way home.
Oh,
after this pitch here, 1-2. Take something off, and it's 2-2.
The way home was basically you're waiting at the end of the field is in a state forest region, and it's you're out in the middle of the woods, and so the players are all waiting by the entrance to the field for the bus to come by. And I don't know if it's pre-planned that they go to the Oak Bluffs instead of Vineyard Haven on the way home, but they go to Oak Bluffs as that pitch is low and away, and now the count is full. As Lyons has done a good job to work that count. But the drive to Oak Bluffs, a lot of traffic around the ferry area, where they pick up and drop off. So they just stopped the bus, and we got off the bus, about 500 yards away, and had to scamper to the ferry.
Foul back,
to get the 8:30 ferry at 8:30.
Wow.
Last one's on it. And it's a long run because it's a long ramp to get to the ferry. Yep, exactly. So you're beating the clock. I mean, we were 2 minutes away.
Were you the last one? Because I assume everybody in the team was faster because they're younger.
No, I was much faster. I was like the third or fourth one on.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I was getting on that ferry, John.
You would have been the first one off the Titanic too. I know.
Yep.
Somehow.
Oh yeah. Lions still hanging in there at 3-2. Runners lead away.
There go the runners, at least the lead runner. It's high fly ball left, and having to get back is Putras. As Lyons flies out to the left fielder, Max Goodman.
Well, along that bat for Lyons, all that did was really accomplish was it got more pitches on the pitch count for Fisher, for Casper. But
you wonder if Putras went on his own, Tom, because there was no reaction from Kyle 80, the trail runner,
at first base,
as far as following him.
Well, I'll tell you, if they both,
in a double steal.
Right.
Good jump by Putras. I think he would have made it, but it is the second out. So
the Lions couldn't take that pitch. That was a strike right over the heart of the plate.
Right.
Did a good job to drill it to left field.
Benedict hit a sac fly to left field his last time up. He's going to have to come up with to hit safely here with 2 outs to keep the inning moving along. Kyle 80 leading off of first base. John Putras at second.
Did you get greedy here up 3-0 and have call for a double steal with 2 outs?
No. I'd let Benedict try to hit one over the wall. Line drive to the right, now to play. 1-1.
Benedict on the year is 286.
He is grounded out to the shortstop, hit a sacrifice fly for a run batted in 2 trips tonight. The 1-1 from Cody Casper. Served into center, stop behind second, glove to second, safe at second. Eric Jensen went with the glove flip to his second baseman, Robbie Zinsmeister. The umpire said not in time, and we have bases full with 2 outs.
Bases full with 2 outs for Gillis, who is 2 for 2.
A rare RBI opportunity for Gillis.
See, that's why I might have had the runners go.
Brings the Silver Knights,
Benedict is not a 300 hitter. I would have had the runners go, and then a run would have scored on that. I'd have 2 runs on the board already, you know. I'd have a run on the board for Martha's Vineyard, and I'd have a run on the board for Nashua already if I was managing this game. How about that, huh? That little chat on the mound, it's going to be broken up.
But you would have robbed us of a grand slam opportunity here. This could be the story of the night. That's why you never know what's going to happen in baseball.
Gillis got a home run threat. Is he homered yet this year? Let me take a look. And he's got 2 homers on the year with 21 RBIs. Has he homered here? That's what I'm wondering about.
Tell you what, Cody Casper just came right after him with a first pitch fastball at the knees over the heart of the plate. So it's 0-1. Broken bat on a few hops to second, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. So Casper pitches well to get out of it against arguably the hottest hitter on the Nashua Silver Knights.
Yep.
Gillis grounds out with the bases loaded.
Bases loaded, and the league leading hitter up, and we're about to be joined by John Good, the Vice President and Director of Communications for the Lowell Spinners and the Nashua Silver Knights. He's the brain behind a lot of the promotional events that you see on the field. Welcome, John.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey, John. So we're deeper in the season than when we saw you last.
Yeah.
How are things?
Unbelievable. You know, from a front office and business perspective, our attendance has gone up as the season has gone along, and now our biggest attendance nights are these last few games, which is huge because in most markets, when you start a new team, opening night is your big night, and then it kind of falls through. But for us, it's been great. Our biggest nights, other than the Sean Thornton night, which was just lucky with the Bruins and the Stanley Cup.
Did they win the Stanley Cup?
They did, yeah. Which is
I love hearing that. Yeah, remind me every day. So you drive in, you walk up to a stadium on an overcast night like this, and you think, oh, gee, they're not going to have anybody. And then you guys have a really nice crowd here tonight. And that's a tribute to the work that you put in.
I hope so. I mean, we've worked really hard. You know, the players have worked really hard, the coaching staff, the front office, all up and down, all the ushers, everyone this entire season has just worked so hard, and it's just phenomenal when you look on an overcast like night with threat of thunderstorms and rain. You can look out and see actually sections completely full. It means a lot to us, that hard work that goes into it. And tomorrow night should be packed on a Saturday night. So yeah, I mean, we're ending the season the best way that we possibly could for our first year.
And we've got playoffs to look forward to, correct?
Yeah, hopefully we're in the hunt for the playoffs, so it would be nice, you know, to make it and even possibly win, which would be phenomenal in our inaugural season.
Well, you obviously honed your skills running the Lowell Spinners and bringing a lot of that success up here, and we're glad that you have Nashua ETV come in to do a game here and there. We really enjoy it.
Oh no, you guys have been phenomenal, and I'd love for you guys to do more. We love having you guys here, and community is a huge part of this team, and that's how this team's going to thrive. And having you guys do these games and be here is an exact part of that. So we appreciate you guys coming in and with your time and everything. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's nice to see the city renewing you. The season tickets for next year already on sale.
Yeah, it's been great. We put them on sale. We've already had a great response, and we're excited for the off season more than anything heading into year 2, because we feel like we've gotten off to such a good start with a good vibe, and the community and the fans have just been hugely supportive, and we got a lot of good fan appeal. We hope heading into the off season, and that next year will be even better than this year.
Lead batter for the Sharks grounds out to second, 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Tom, you got something for John before he goes?
John, what's the biggest surprise for you this year? And once the season started, as you've gone along, what's been the biggest surprise?
I think the biggest surprise has actually been those nights that we were kind of planning on being duds, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, those Monday, Tuesday nights.
We really haven't honestly had any duds. And we knew we'd have our big crowds with the fireworks and the dollar beers and the Thursday.
Sure.
We knew those, but, or a night like this, for example, with the rain, there's a big night. And that we're able to exceed our expectations on those nights on a Wednesday night or a rainy night, and that the fans are still coming out. That was definitely, I would say, is the biggest surprise, because we had kind of planned on some of those nights, and honestly, I don't think we've had any. Like, we've had a solid crowd game in and game out, and that's a real tribute to the fans there, and it's obvious that they want baseball here and entertainment, and they've come out this year for it.
I think daddy duty calls for you right now.
Yeah, they got 2 of them. They just follow me around. I don't know who they are. They
just kids are following you around.
They just seem to follow me wherever they go and stuff. So, but no, they love coming to the park. It's a huge thrill for them.
Thank you very much, John, for joining us.
Thank you guys again for coming out. And,
thanks, John.
And thank you so much.
It's John Good, whose title, Tom, is
Chief Cook and Bottle Washer.
Everything. He does it all.
He does it all here. He's just, this is basically his baby. He and Tim Neverman, Tim Bowman, the general manager of the Lowell Spinners, who also is basically in charge here. But he and John Good put this together. They're the 1-2 punch for Lowell. They're the 1-2 punch here. He's officially vice president of communications and promotions.
Okay, so who did I just jinx, or did we just jinx last inning?
Mr. Fisher, because he just issued his first walk.
In eons. Jeff Fisher walks Ronnie Rosario with 1 out. The Sharks have a runner aboard first base. We are going to get fireworks tonight, one way or the other, Tom. Either Mother Nature is going to provide them, or the Nashua Silver Knights are going to provide them.
I don't know.
According to the tablet, the tablet doesn't lie, does it?
The tablet looked like
the high-tech device that
rain intensity, but not. I don't know about thunderstorms. I didn't see red.
I saw a high-tech device and had reds and yellows and oranges.
I saw a lot of yellows this way. That's heavy rain. I don't know if that's so much thunder. We'll see.
But we're moving along here. We're in the top of the 5th inning, as Fisher peers over his front leg, grounded back to Fisher, to second, for 1, to first, not in time. Safe at first base, hustling on the back end of it was Tom Gold.
Well, Fisher hesitated a little bit, and that little hesitation cost him. He got the back, the ball back to the mound, looked at second base, and hesitated before he threw, because he had to wait for Benedict to get over there.
Yeah.
And then Benedict fired on the first base, but not in time.
Tad Gold beats it out on the back end of a fielder's choice. 2 outs, man at first. Back to the top of the order for the Sharks. It's Robbie Zinsmeister,
the man who they have to keep off base.
First pitch swinging on 2 easy hops to Katsarubis. Guns it across the diamond for out number 3.
And a big out, and Fisher is just sailing along. 5 innings of shutout ball. He's only given up 2 hits and walked 1. We are in the middle of the 5th inning. It's 3-0 in favor of Nashua Silver Knights over Martha's Vineyard. And this is where it gets dicey, because you saw the crowd scatter earlier with the rain. If I'm not mistaken, that may be Silver Knights general manager Tim Bowman out there talking with the umpire. I saw Tim Bowman do this before, because sat through a rain delay down at Lowell the other night when he was the Lowell Spinners general manager that night. And they took as long as they could to play that game. And the umpires walked the field, and if they didn't like it, they had the grounds crew come back out and rework it. I think, John, you saw Katsarubis make a good throw to get Zinsmeister. You also saw him hesitate a little because the grip of the ball. The ball is damp now. So keep an eye on that with the infielders.
As you can see, the umbrellas have come out here on a Friday night at historic Holman Stadium. No heavy rain yet. That
I'm waiting
t-shirt.
for one of these to come through the window here, you know?
That had some distance and velocity on it there.
I'd love to have been a fly on the wall for that conversation between Tim Bowman and the umpires to see what they want to do in terms of the weather. I think they know the bad weather is coming, and it's a question of whether they want to delay or they want to call it an official game or not. But it's an official game now after 4.5, so this game is in the books.
It is, with the Silver Knights leading 3-0. Matt Jacobs, the center fielder and 3-hitter, will lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th as he jackknifes out of way of a called strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Jacobs has walked and struck out, or Cade against KK. Cody Casper. Spells both his first and last names with K's as he rocks and throws a curve over the plate for strike 2. And those 2 K's in his name remind me of one Roger Clemens, who named all of his sons.
Yeah, it does,
K
doesn't
first
it?
names.
Exactly, I know.
And you know what? We were talking about grounded toward the shortstop. Jensen.
Oh, what a high hop.
Extra high hop and guns it. Safe off the bag. Boyks doesn't agree again with
And neither does Zinsmeister, the shortstop. Is it Jen? Yeah, it says Jensen, the shortstop. He's wondering where that was. Of course, we don't have the benefit of automatic replay, so we can't zoom in on that play at first.
Leadoff batter is aboard for the Silver Knights.
Now, Jacobs does have that kind of speed.
Yeah, he definitely put pressure on the defense there.
So the question is that an error or is it going to go down? It's going to go as a hit.
Interesting.
Scored as a hit. Maybe the first baseman's foot just slipped off the bag.
Sanborn is singled and grounded out to short in 2 at-bats tonight. Looks at strike 1.
This is a situation where he is always, later in games, have been his home runs.
There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base is
not in time.
Not in time. I guess no tag was even applied.
No, no tag was applied, but a good jump by Jacobs, who's got that speed.
Yeah. And when you give him that kind of jump, it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to steal it. He is at second base with nobody out here in the 5th inning. Sanborn with an RBI opportunity. He did knock in a run earlier, but he was not credited with the RBI because it was called an error of how he reached first base. I had him down as a single because we were doing our own official scoring, but then that was taken away, you told me earlier.
Yeah, according to what I saw on the board.
I have to say I thought his was more of a hit than Jacobs. I thought Jacobs, you're just talking about a shortstop throw that pulls a first baseman off the bag.
Right.
As tough a play as it was, usually that's called an error. I know from personal experience.
That's true.
The shortstop. Strike call on the inside corner.
Good
Sanborn,
piece
no argument.
of pitching by Casper. He came in on Sanborn, but always off speed. When you are able to throw your off-speed stuff like that to the number 4 hitter in the lineup, one of the top RBI guys in the league.
The third baseman, number 16, James Katsarubis.
So that article in Sports Illustrated mentioning Roger Clemens this week also talked about Sammy Sosa and Barry Bonds. The sports writers, there goes the runner. Throw to third is not in time. Jacobs stealing his way to third base.
Told you going to to third base last time.
So they come up for Hall of Fame voting, those 3 guys, under the clouds that they're under in this coming
Who's
year.
that?
Bonds, Sosa, and Clemens.
None of the 3 will make it.
Really? First pitch foul down the
not
second
unless there's some kind of a. As Bob Ryan from the Globe had a great column a week ago. He said, you know, this whole dilemma is you color code the plaques. So
color code the plaques in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Wow.
In other words, you know, the ones who are, you know, straight in, clean, everything else, one color, and the ones who you suspect that never fessed up, another color, and then the ones who, you know, basically said, I did it, give them another color.
Will that open the door for a rose-colored plaque?
Boy, that's a good debate. That's a very good debate.
That's a pet peeve of mine, by the way, Tom. Pete Rose not being in the Hall of Fame. I think he's done his time. I really do. Fisted over the head of the leaping third baseman for a base hit that's going to knock home Jacobs easily from third. Getting the job done, James Katsarubis, an RBI single. The Nashua Silver Knights lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the fifth.
Well, maybe pretty soon that Jeff Fisher has done his, not Jeff Fisher, but Cody Casper's done his time. Don't know how long they're going to leave him in. He's allowed 4 runs on 7 hits. He hasn't been hit hard.
What may come in the future. Hypothetically speaking, if we make the playoffs, we will be hosting the first game here at historic Holman Stadium Thursday, August 4th at 7:05. This game will be dollar drink night. Again, that is the first playoff game, hypothetically, Thursday, August 4th at 7:05 p.m.
Now, I think you just heard it at home, fans watching Nashua TV. As our public address announcer here at Holman Stadium just mentioned, it appears if things continue the way they're headed, at Thursday, August 4th, the Nashua Silver Knights will be hosting a playoff game on Dollar Beer Night here at Holman Stadium. So a lot of excitement in the air. Grounded.
They got to make it first.
Right. Fielder's choice.
No chance for the double play.
2 outs now in the inning as Putras, who had singled and flied out, hits a fielder's choice.
And I wonder whether the catcher will be running or not. With 2 outs.
Well, he certainly drew a lot of pickoff attempts last time he was on.
He did draw a lot of throws over from Casper. It is damp out there. I mean, you can look at the umbrellas. The umbrellas are not just up there for sprinkles.
Big swing and a miss.
It is coming down. Take a look at the lights.
Yeah, it is. I can really see it for the first time.
You can see it. Fans can see it now at homes. Tim O'Neill aptly shows the lights and a little bit of drizzle around it.
Misses low, 1-1. We're in the bottom of the fifth. The Silver Knights have a 4-0 lead over the Martha's Vineyard Sharks as Cody Casper slips twice. His feet and the ball, I think, came out of his hand funny and seemed to do a pirouette after he let it go. But he's right back on the rubber for the 2-1 pitch to Neverman. Straight back to the screen. It hit. You could hear it hit the railing through the netting as the ball ends up to the right of the catcher, Anthony Corona. Give the fans credit for being prepared with the umbrellas, and the players for playing through it to this point. Casper's pitch, strike 3 call outside corner for the 3rd out of the inning. A well-placed fastball. So 1 run plated for the Nashua Silver Knights in that inning as Matt Jacobs reached on an error, stole 2nd and 3rd, and came home on the RBI single by Katsarubis to give the Silver Knights a 4-0 lead. We are headed to the top of the 6th in what was scheduled to be a 9-inning game.
Gonna be tough.
I think I just felt. Did I feel something? No, maybe it hasn't. We're very fortunate. We have the window wide open here.
Right, wide open. It's straight down.
It's coming straight down.
The world famous Monkey Boy.
There's my favorite Monkey Boy act. Day at the beach.
Day at the beach. With the Monkey Boy stylings of Chris Ames. still got it. Still got those glasses.
Yep. Talk right now. No, they interrupt his act. Talk right now with the umpires and the two coaches.
Something is bothering our primate spring sunbather. Oh, and he pulls a super soaker out of the bag.
I was waiting for the super soakers to come out.
Oh. The Sharks players may be taking it.
They're already wet. Gotta wonder what the footing is like on the mound, John. A lot of talk going on between Mike Chambers, who's gained some very valuable experience in his first managerial job. He's an assistant coach at Franklin Pierce, but there you see, look at the dugout. Now there's the rain coming off the dugout. It's coming down pretty good, as correctly predicted by our executive producer, Pete Johnson.
Decision is about to be made, Tom, and I don't know.
Well, if they have quick dry, they can put that on the mound. The grounds crew will come in with some. They've done it in the past here, obviously.
I just saw the.
But there's a lot of talk going on. We are in the. We have played 5 innings of ball here. It's 4-0 in favor of Nashua. Sure, Martha's Vineyard does not want to see this game end as an official game, as they are right now the odd team out in the playoff hunt, and there's only a few days left in the season. But
So
while they're standing here talking about it,
things are getting worse.
yeah, exactly. You wonder whether they're waiting for the ground crew to come in with some quick dry or not. And I'm looking down. If you look down, Tim O'Neill, if you can put the camera down to third base side, you'll see the grounds crew and the tarp crew of the Silver Knights staff is all waiting.
Fans of the Silver Knights Facebook page. That means we only need 4
They're
more
waiting
fans
to get that
to
tarp
reach our
on the field, and I think
preseason
they're going to
goal.
put it on there.
What
As
I'm asking is if
everybody's
you are
starting to
not
march
already
off.
a fan of the Silver Knights, please go to their page at facebook.com/Nashua Silver Knights and
The
like our
tarp
page.
crew is waiting. You see them on the lower, upper left of your screen, beyond the visitors' dugout. Those kids in gray shirts, gray t-shirts, that's the tarp crew right there.
At the moment, so we only need 4 more. Please help us out. Become a friend, and suggest some of your friends.
Right now, the Silver Knights players are gathered in various clumps. Yeah.
Well, I think the feeling is the mound is not, unless they can put quick dry on the mound is not playable.
They had quick dry on the home plate area to begin the game. Now that's become soaked. I guess they must have done it on the mound as well.
But I mean, you know, if it's this kind of weather, you've got to have that quick dry readily available to come back out and come back out and come back out.
Good catch there, Tim.
So, and here comes,
on
I
camera.
believe,
Yeah.
here comes the grounds crew now with some quick dry. Saw the little.
Yeah, you can see the scoreboard they keep on the right center field wall.
Van and the 354-foot sign of gate is opening up, and they're going to come in and probably work on the field before Jeff Fisher throws it on the pitch. So we've got a little bit of a delay here in between innings. Let's see if they come out. It's almost like waiting for Santa Claus with his sleigh.
To bring us the present of quick dry. Here he comes.
Yeah, because I think Fisher wants to wait and throw another pitch until he gets a quick dry. And the umpires want that too. I'm surprised that coming out and swinging a bat was Jensen. And he's been told to go back and wait. They got to work on the field a little bit. Tough job this grounds crew's got to do. They've got to be quick and they've got to be precise. They do a good job.
Right now it's a one-man job.
Yep.
You know, we had one guy doing the work and
rake.
9 guys standing around watching him. So
yeah, I know.
What does that remind you of?
Yeah, really, I know. Exactly. Huh?
Not going to get political here. This is Nashua's ETV. John Collins with Tom King. Tim O'Neill is our cameraman.
I don't know. We're just sitting around watching Tim O'Neill work.
It's true.
It's true, you know.
He's doing the heavy lifting.
He's doing all the lifting.
On behalf of everybody here at the Knights, I would like to thank you personally for helping us reach our goal. We hope we're doing a great job on the field, and we hope you enjoy your stay here at the Nashua Silver Knights. We really thank you for your support, and again, thank you.
I was in a men's league game. You know how highly competitive we take things too, so I'm going to bring this up anyway.
Yeah, I think you had a black eye one time.
Yes,
yep, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
So we were in a battle for a playoff spot with another team. And we still are this season. And it was a rainy night, so it's very similar to this, at Ferrillo Field in Woburn. And the game was going along. We were down by a run to the visiting team. The visiting team batted in the top of the 5th inning, leading by a run. They did not score. We came up to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, and then the umpires decided that the mound was too muddy to go on. And our argument was, how come the visiting team got to bat in the top of the 5th inning, but they can't go on in the bottom of the 5th inning? And it was just an unusual situation where
You're just trying to weasel out something, you know. Come on.
They you know, called it after the visiting team got to bat, already leading by a run, and just wanted to play through it, just one more half inning, you know.
Well, they had that problem down in the Vineyard. They've got to decide. They've had games suspended by fog. There's games, you know, called after. I don't know if they've had a game called after 8 because of the time. But on this game with Nashua that I went to, it was very close. I mean, if that game had gone another half inning, they wouldn't have been able to do it.
That's Tom King, who also writes about the New England Patriots. And I just want to slip in here that the lockout is over.
My lockout's not over, though. I've been on vacation. So
your lockout continues.
My lockout continues. So
oh, that's funny.
So I haven't.
You know, you actually.
I didn't agree to terms yet. I didn't ratify it, so I'm not going down yet until next week. So.
Oh.
So my lockout is still going on.
You know, Jeff Fisher is the name of this pitcher for the Nashua Silver Knights, right? Is still the coach of the...
No, he's not the coach of Tennessee anymore. He was fired. Yep.
He was fired.
He spells it differently, too, by the way, J-E-F-F. This Jeff Fisher spells it G-E-O-F-F.
Okay. Well, it did remind me of the football season, and it's just a big relief to a lot of people that the whole industry of football won't be screeching to a halt. Talking about the players getting 55% of the revenue, and the revenue is going to be something like $8 billion. And there's a lot of side businesses like sports writers that somewhat make their living off.
A little bit, you know. I got a
football.
call from a Seattle radio station while I was sleeping in my warm
about
hotel
the Patriots
bed.
pickups?
About they wanted me to come on and talk about Albert Hainsworth. I told the producer, I said, "Oh, when did they get him?"
That was news to you
yeah,
because you were on vacation.
To me because I was away. You know?
Amazing, yeah.
So I said, "Well, Albert's going to have to wait till." I said, "Albert's going to have to wait till Monday."
That's funny. You know, I heard that he's not officially on the team till he passes the physical.
Mm-hmm.
And the unfortunate thing is, though, although the gates were locked to the players, I think the Hainsworth's refrigerator was wide open during the offseason, so that might still be iffy.
That was a can't lose type of deal. They only gave up I believe they gave up a 5th round pick in 2013. Money-wise, I don't know. I know they didn't guarantee any of his money. But the rain is really coming down now. I don't know how long they're going to be able to continue this game.
Base hit to center field for the leadoff batter for the Martha's Vineyard Sharks.
Already,
Eric Jensen singles to center.
Already Fisher's cleaning off his spikes, as you can see there in the middle of your screen.
Corona has grounded out.
They only did the quick dry, John, around the mound. They did not do any quick dry around home plate or anywhere around near any of the bases.
Right.
So tough sliding for anybody. So I don't expect to see Jensen go.
In fact, nights like this is when you stop sliding and start sticking.
Yeah, exactly.
High pop-up behind the infield. Gillis is going to call off his shortstop as he had a nice angle on it, and he puts it away. One out here in the top of the 6th, and Jeremy Matos will come up. He has grounded out and singled and has been running very gingerly tonight.
Number 34, Jeremy Matos.
And this turf cannot help him any. This, not turf, but this surface.
Yeah,
wet surface right now.
It's hard, too, usually.
I think it's going to start turning to mush pretty soon. We are in the 6th. It's a 4-0 lead for Nashua. On a rainy Friday night where they're supposed to have fireworks, but that's got to be tentative right now.
Yeah. They might keep those in the bank for tomorrow.
Well, that doesn't work because they start at 5 on Saturdays.
Right.
It's just not quite dark enough at 8 o'clock yet.
Matos dances out of the way of a waste pitch down and in. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nice save there by John Putras, who was able to keep it from going to the backstop.
I tell you, when you put yourself in the shoes of the Vineyard hitters, the Vineyard players, you're taking a long trip up to Nashua, and it's a dreary night.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, how much longer do I want to be out here?
Some very hardy fans are sticking around here, some with umbrellas and a lot without.
Wow.
Matos hits a screaming line drive past his third base coach, who did a good job to get out of the way of that. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Sharks' designated hitter. Matos is listed as an outfielder. Plays at UMass Lowell. Looks at a fastball outside. It's a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Matos with a terrific batting average. He's got, well, let's add in tonight's at bats. He's got 50 hits.
Well, I'll tell you what, I take that back. The Vineyard,
in 138 appearances.
they won't be affected by the drought. You know why? Because they're probably staying here overnight. Because they're playing here tomorrow, which I wasn't aware of, that they were going to play both games here. So they will be playing here tomorrow, which is Saturday, July 30th, if you're watching this on tape delay, which you are.
Oh, that got him. Oh, that's got to hurt.
Oh.
Wow. And the third base coach is walking it off, Tom. That is everybody's fear when they see it.
I've got nailed by a line drive down there doing camera work. That's tough, but that was a screaming shot, but he's okay, boy. He bounced right away.
You know, I think it missed the vital spot and got a big piece of his leg or hip,
yeah, I think so.
And that had to be going $120.
That had to be. That was a rope. 3-2 is the count.
I mean, Ozzie Smith couldn't have got out of the way of that one. That was scorched by Matos. That was that's YouTube worthy here. Nashua ZTV. I don't know if Pete Johnson does that, but swing and a miss. Matos.
That's a big strikeout. Boy, Fisher, who's not that big a high velocity guy, reared back and fired a flamethrower there. That was a dart.
Yeah.
That Matos swung right through, up and in. He went right after him.
Now batting first baseman number 20, Anthony Boyks.
Anthony Boyks has flied out and reached on an error.
I mean, these are the 2 games that Nashua can basically assure themselves of a playoff spot, because if they win both, they push Martha's Vineyard to 3.5 back with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to play. I don't know how many games Martha's Vineyard has left in that span, but
which would make their magic number probably 1.
Yeah. So
golf foul.
Tonight and
Sanborn's
tomorrow,
got a
very good.
chance.
Got it? No. Yes.
Makes the catch.
Wow.
Mark Sanborn, who disappeared from view, going over the railing and coming back with the baseball.
Well, he's
Beautiful
got
play.
the reach. He's got the reach. He's 6'6".
DJ Boston
Yeah,
revisited.
exactly. No kid, that's right. Exactly. Good. Yeah. Very good.
So it is time for the Silver Knights' newest and most favorite tradition.
We had a Nashua Pride game here one night where DJ Boston executed a double play on a great catch like that near the railing where the man on third tried to tag up and score. That was the second out. The runner on third would have been the tie run. DJ Boston threw him out at home to end the game. It was a terrific defensive play to end the game.
That was great, wasn't it? Remember that?
Yep.
Yep, it was a Saturday night.
Remember what day of the week?
4,000 people in the stands.
Yeah. And I give credit to the base run. I forget who it was for trying it as we watched the...
one of the magical moments of the 2000 season.
2000, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah.
But that was probably the best minor league baseball season that Nashua has ever had. As you watch the Silver Knights take part. It's one of the reasons why this has been a success, because the players have bought in to the promotional stuff. And the college kids, so it's easy to convince them. You can't get a bunch of pros to do that.
No.
You know? But you're going to get the college kids to do it. So, you know, a lot created on the fly
Kevin
here.
Millar to do it, maybe something like that.
But that, remember that night and that 2000 season will probably go down as the best minor league baseball season, the best professional baseball season in the history of the city of Nashua. I don't think there's any doubt about it. In terms of fan appeal, popularity, which is the same thing. Popularity, play on the field, the team that Nashua had, Butch Hobson's return to glory, more or less, he had managed in the Red Sox system the year, but people forget that Hobson managed in the Red Sox minor league system before he took the Pride job.
Yes, he did.
Let alone the major league job that he had with them. David Kett brought him back quietly into the organization.
Right.
This call to the bullpen is brought to you by the Hampton Inn Nashua.
And you are qualified to make that statement, Tom. You went through most of the seasons.
All of the seasons.
All the seasons in the past 20 years. But there were, like, the Nashua Angels used to be here.
Yeah, I did a little bit of the Pirates the last year they were here. That was the only time I ever did a few games here and there. But I covered their departure.
But it's hard to imagine that anything would have equaled that season. You're right, 2000.
2000 was just mad. I mean, you know, the way the Pride front office felt about the 2000 season is basically the same way these people here, the Silver Knights, feel about this season with the fans. They did not expect this. But the Pride really made a huge jump. And that 2000 season alone, with the popularity of Monkey Boy and with Hobson coming in and with the fact they put a winning team on the field with some names and played exciting baseball, you know, put people in the seats.
We've seen two defensive gems by the Nashua Silver Knights tonight. James Katsarubis at third base falling down, making a play on a grounder behind the mound, and then right there Mark Sanborn taking one out of over the railing out of the stands to get the third out of the sixth inning. In the bottom of the sixth now, 4-0. Nashua leads Martha's Vineyard.
Can they squeeze 3 more innings or 2.5 more innings out of this game?
High fly down the line. It's in the
foul.
foul territory area and the picnic area out of play. It's a 2-2 count now.
Once again,
you know what's interesting too is you don't see any activity in either bullpen. Usually about a 6th or 7th inning, these guys are out of here.
Lights are on.
Kyle 80 has singled and struck out in 2 trips tonight. The right fielder for the Silver Knights awaiting the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Very well tossed by Cody Casper.
Cody Casper, yeah.
Or is it still Cody Casper?
It's still Cody Casper. I didn't see anybody warming up before.
Now batting left fielder number 4, Sean Lyon.
Number 16 would be Cody Casper. Sean Ryan now, the left fielder for the Nashua Silver Knights, batting with 1 out and nobody aboard. Looks at a strike on the outside corner.
Let's see, John. They may have made a change.
Is it the big guy?
Joseph Withrow?
Is it the
12.
6'5" Withrow?
Withrow out there, 6'5", but does it look like he's 6'5"?
Well, you know what? You know, he did strike. You know what? His head was a little bit above the rope for me. Yep. So when I looked at it, I said,
that is Withrow. So Withrow's
okay, it is number 12.
Yep.
Yep. He's got a
he's
similar.
throwing harder.
He is throwing
similar
harder.
delivery, but he's throwing harder than Casper did.
He's throwing a lot downhill.
But I did not see anybody warming up.
No,
it's
like
bullpen.
they did it secretly.
Right.
Maybe he went inside that play castle down there so he could stay out of the rain. Joseph Withrow, as Tom said, big guy, 6'5", 235, University of Georgia, pretty good baseball school down there.
But just the opposite. I think Fisher's going to come out and pitch the next night.
The 2-2 misses, maybe up, and it's a full count to Lyons. Bats number 9 in the order, has walked, stolen a base, and scored, and flied out to left. He takes ball 4. He has walked for the second time in this game. So with 1 out, the Silver Knights have a base runner, and we're back to the top of the order with Benedict, who is 1 for 2 with a single, a sac fly, and a ground out. Conference says the first baseman Boyks wants to come to the mound and say something.
Well, if I'm the umpires, I say, hey, let's go.
Yeah, no conferences.
No conferences. We got a game to play here. We want to finish it out.
What's this? That's the coach that got nailed, Tom. Do we have a number of that guy? Let me see. Oh, here it is.
Up to bat for the Silver Knights, the shortstop, number 11, Rob Benedict.
Rob Benedict up to bat. Whatever that was about, it was a quick conference, and we are back to playing ball. Fastball misses. 1-0.
Withrow, obviously, he slipped a little bit on that pitch. This is going to be tough.
Up by 4 on a really wet night. It has brought the running game to a screeching halt for the Silver Knights. No real urgency to run and no real safe track at the moment. As I say that, he takes off on almost a hit and run. It's fouled back, and terrific running jump there for Lyons. He would have stolen that one easily. Benedict fouls it to the screen. The 2-0 pitch must have been to his liking. So 2 balls and 1 strike now.
There's another sign, as Tim O'Neill had shown the outfield. It's another sign that this wasn't going to be a dud in terms of what was going to do this summer in terms of fans because of the advertising support they got on the outfield. Those
the big
huge.
ones.
Those are big boards.
Yeah. High fly to center, charging and making the catch out there is Tad Gold.
There you see them.
Good job in a wet turf. Yeah.
All the way around.
And here is your Logan Gillis, league leading hitter, 2 for 3 tonight with a run scored. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-0. The Nashua Silver Knights are ahead, and Gillis is going to go talk to his third base coach here. Coming into tonight's action, the Nashua Silver Knights led the league with a 24-15 record, right behind Torrington at 23-15. Half game back with 1 more game in hand to play. Martha's Vineyard, this team here, 22-16. The only team that's out of it, the Seacoast, at 8-31.
They've already announced, John, they're adding Leominster, Fitchburg next year.
It'll be a 5-team league.
Well, I think they'll add another team. They'll go.
Okay.
You never want to have an odd. You never want to have an odd number. You
right.
want to have an even number. You want somebody playing.
Where else geographically can they go?
Plenty of spots. I mean, don't forget, they don't need stadiums as long as they can get, facilities or high school fields, community fields.
Yeah.
They can spruce them up a little bit.
Well, I'm just making a mental image of
this is the marquee place right here. This is it.
Strike call, throw to second, and sliding in safely.
The only other facility that's a stadium type
That's a pretty good slide on the wet track.
That is a good slide on the wet track by
about 8 feet.
By 80, yep. Or by, was it Lions or 80?
It was
Lions. Yep.
So he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
He's a pesky player. He's down in the order, but he always seems to figure in a lot of Silver Knight rallies.
I bet this is the only team he ever batted down in the order with his kind of talent.
Very happy ninth birthday to Dan Hill. Happy birthday to Jason.
Sanborn, the cleanup hitter, hit 7th for UMass Lowell this year. He's hoping.
You wrote an article about it.
He's hoping to clean up this this coming spring.
He's got plenty of experience in that cleanup spot now. As Gillis bends out of the way of an inside curve, the 2-1 pitch is on the way to Logan Gillis. Hits it to center. Gild is going to catch it on the run to retire the side. So Gillis trying to get that RBI single, just got a little bit too much airtime, and Gold ran it down. So we've played 6 full, 2/3 of this one in the books, and the Nashua Silver Knights still with a rather comfortable 4-0 lead.
My guess, John, is they're going to do everything they can to play this game, to finish this game, 9 innings. You know, they've gone this far.
Yeah.
It's not pouring out. It's not a downpour.
Yeah.
So if they can maintain the field a little bit. Then you see the players get involved. Throwing frisbees and things to the fans. I think Monkey Boys probably due for one more appearance in this game before all is said and done. Probably after the 7th inning.
Yeah, so back to our discussion. We have right now in the league, the 4 teams we have in the league, the Seacoast, where they play up in Portsmouth. Rochester, New Hampshire. Martha's Vineyard, who Tom just took us on a nice travel log earlier. His travel diary unfolded. Torrington, Connecticut, correct?
Torrington is actually, believe it or not, a longer trip than Martha's Vineyard. It's a 3.5-hour bus ride. Which
I'll believe that.
It's only 2 hours to Woods Hole from here. So.
And of course, here we are in Nashua, and you're talking about Leominster. I'm thinking, are they thinking about Vermont? Are they thinking about that?
I think they're thinking about any place that's got
above Keene.
I don't know if they want to go in that area. No, I think that they want to get another team in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, okay.
To help out Martha's Vineyard and help out Torrington. Fitchburg helps out Nashua greatly. Fitchburg, Leominster. Most of the games will be in Leominster. Chambers, the manager, lives about walking distance.
Of course, they have Brockton down there. It's Brockton Rocks, a different
Rocks,
league.
Yeah, they won't. The Rocks are basically the people who run the Sharks, and they run Torrington.
Right. So they're going to find some alternative geography to come up with that.
They'd like to maybe go out beyond Worcester, out that way out
towards
Western Mass. I think that would probably help with some of the travel, but
maybe Springfield.
Or, they did try to get into Scituate, and it was almost ready to be announced, and then something happened and they had to pull the plug on it. So they'll go if they can get on. What Chris Hall told me is locations aren't a problem. Ownership is. They want good owners.
Yeah.
That will make it go, that will do their best to make it go of it.
Max Goodman awaiting a 2-2 pitch here from Jeff Fisher. Fouled into the stands to our left, and it'll stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. Goodman has flied to center and popped out to the third baseman. This is his 3rd at bat here in the top of the 7th inning. The Sharks trailing 4-0 in a pennant race against this team, the Nashua Silver Knights, the home team. Top toward the first baseman. Gloving it on the second hop is Sanborn. He'll take it alone.
Yeah, Fisher had to run and get out of the way. Sanborn very graceful down there at first base. Very, very moves well for a big guy.
So Sanborn has accounted for the last 2 outs on defense for the Silver Knights, making a terrific catch over the fence to end the last inning. Unassisted on the ground ball to begin the 7th inning, and James Schottner, the third baseman, 0 for 2 so far. Fly out and a ground out as that ball rebounds off of the back netting and right onto the Silver Knights dugout. Pitch is hit high to right, left field. It's going to bounce fair and go over the wall for a ground rule double.
Hardest hit ball of the night by anybody, by either team.
Well, you know, your third base coach might.
Now that's, well, I mean, in play. In play.
Oh, definitely in play. Yeah. Schottmer, double. Ronnie Rosario to bat now, as you can see, trying to keep the bat dry as he comes to the plate.
Now batting the right fielder, number 13, Ronnie Rosario.
And again, there's no activity in the bullpen for the Silver Knights. This is Fisher's game all the way. I think they're going to go the distance. He's going to go the distance if they can make it.
That was interesting, that swing. He made full contact and pulled the ball foul, but one hand came completely off the bat, and he still held on to it with the other hand.
Yeah, he's trying to dry. He's trying to dry the bat off in between. Tough night. Trying to get through this so they can finish this game. We're in the 7th, and it's a 4-0 Nashua lead.
Some of these bats, the nicer ones, they come with this finish that on nights like this becomes especially slippery. The unfinished bats, I feel like just like a raw piece of wood. Those are easier to grip. Popped up in the air, left side. It is just a foul ball or right on the line. It would have hit the line.
Good off-speed pitch by Fisher to catch Rosario out in front of it, and he pops it up. And that'll bring up Tad Gold.
Gold, who has flied out and reached on a fielder's choice, looking for his first hit. Bats in the 9 spot in the order, the center fielder for the Sharks.
Well, we got a pinch hitter, I believe.
Oh, it's number 23.
Yep. Umpire just signaled.
Center fielder, number 23, Jack Colton.
Jack Colton will step in, a Harvard guy. Coming in hitting 240.
Or for you Harvard people out there, he is 25 for 104, and I'm sure you figured it out.
Figured it out already. Two outs, one on. Runner in scoring position. That is Steve Schottner. And he's not going to score now.
It's going to be an easy play for Katsarubis.
Boy, Fisher is pitching a gem, John Collins, isn't he?
Terrific job. He has retired the last, well, actually, he did let up that double. I should stand corrected. But he's only given up a hit an inning or a base runner an inning at the most. Every time
he hasn't had
the Sharks get somebody on.
Right, his only 1-2-3 inning was the first, believe it or not.
Right.
He's had a runner on every inning, but
they haven't moved him. They've stayed where they've arrived.
Yep.
Not even a steal, looks like.
Dance company from Merrimack performing.
The tarp.
Oh my.
Uh-oh.
So we have hit the middle of the 7th inning, and the tarp is going to go on the field. And you wonder, will they delay or will they call it?
Maybe, and you asked to be a fly on the wall earlier in the game. Maybe they had an agreement that the 7th inning would be it.
Would be it. Let me find out.
So Tom King's going to check on this as we see the Rockettes routine here. As the young ladies play through it.
Linda Bridgman Academy of Dance Performance Company of Merrimack, New Hampshire. Also, ladies and gentlemen, before you start hitting the gates because of the weather, we have a very special surprise for you. While the tarp is on the field, we're going to put on our post-game fireworks show. We're going to do that right now.
How about that? They're going to do the fireworks show.
So they're going to do the fireworks. So I imagine, and they are in a rain delay, I was told. They have not banged the game. It's a rain delay. So we go to break.
We're going to go to break.
Go to break and then come back when they play baseball.
That's right, and you, through the magic of videotape, you won't have to wait at all.
That's right, exactly.
John Collins with Tom King, Tim O'Neill on camera. We'll take a break and come back with the resumption of the game or cancellation in just a heartbeat here on Nashua's ETV.
Immediately following the fireworks, all of our great ushers here at the ballpark will have flashlights.
Tuesday.
game, of course, is scheduled for tomorrow at 5:05.
Welcome back, everybody, to a rain-soaked Holman Stadium where the game has officially been called here in the 7th inning, a 4-0 Nashua Silver Knights win. We did get to see those nice fireworks, Tom. We saw.
I think the people at home might have seen some of them too.
We did record.
We did have the camera on them, so.
And now we are being treated to some players who are
doing
about to do a group slide.
The non-electric slide, thank goodness, across the water.
Here we go.
Here we go.
See this every day?
Silver Knights group slide. There they go.
One of the teammates was acting like one of the curlers in the Olympics, trying to add to the distance, I think. That was terrific. You don't see that every day.
No, I think some Sharks players were involved in that too. Some of these guys are teammates in college, so it's different. They're playing against each other during the summer, so that's a little bit different. So this game is not a suspended game. It is a completed game, 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Silver Knights, who are now 1 game, 1 win away over Martha's Vineyard from clinching a playoff spot, and that would come the day after this game is played.
So star of the game, Jeff Fisher, the pitcher.
Jeff Fisher, the pitcher, threw a 4-hitter with 1 walk and 1 walk, and I believe, let's see, 1 didn't strike out too many. 1, 2, and that's it. 2 strikeouts. So 1 walk and 2 strikeouts, but that's not his forte anyway. He's a put the ball in play kind of guy. They put the ball in play. Martha's Vineyard managed 4 hits, but could not manage a run in their 7 innings of at-bats. Nashua getting the win. We'll recap the scoring for you in just 1 moment. They got the win in the first inning. Logan Gillis with a single, Matt Jacobs with a walk. A wild pitch moved the runners up, and Mark Sanborn hit into an RBI ground out. That was a 1 run. The second run, very interesting in the 3rd inning. A walk, an errant pickoff throw that had the runner all the way, Sean Lyons, all the way to 3rd, and a run scores on the sac fly. But then a base hit and a wild pitch. And then on a throw to first base, Mark Sanborn beat it out, and Logan Gillis alertly scoring from 2nd on the ground out, basically stealing a run in the 3rd inning off Cody Casper. And then an RBI single after an infield hit by Matt Jacobs in the 5th, let it off, an RBI stolen base by Jacobs, and then an RBI single by James Katsarobis brings in the run, as actually Jacobs had also stolen 3rd as well. But Katsarobis with a bloop single, and it's a 4-0 game, and that is it. That is your Friday night at Holman Stadium.
Yeah, thanks very much for that recap, Tom King. I'm John Collins. I want to thank our cameraman Tim O'Neill and our executive producer Pete Johnson as well, and you, the fans, for watching this Nashua ETV broadcast of the Nashua Silver Knights victory this evening. As you look at the scoreboard that doesn't read it right now, but they did beat the Martha's Vineyard Sharks 4-0. We may have more Nashua Silver Knights action. Stay tuned, Nashua's ETV, in the coming weeks as the team advances to the playoffs, we hope. So thank you again for watching, and good night from Holman Stadium, everybody.